Underneath the sleek interfaces of modern banking, healthcare, and manufacturing lies a fragile reality. These institutions run on decades-old code that cannot safely fail. Updating this critical infrastructure is difficult because the systems must remain active. It is similar to performing open-heart surgery on a patient who is currently running a marathon. Many of these environments have been processing daily transactions nonstop since the 1960s and 70s. The core logic inside them holds decades of custom regulatory adaptations and undocumented dependencies. Because a system outage can freeze global supply chains or entirely wipe out consumer bank accounts, enterprise buyers historically prioritized absolute safety above all else when attempting modernization. For decades, safety was tied to the size of the vendor. Chief information officers operated on the assumption that a firm with tens of thousands of employees was a more reliable choice than a smaller consultancy. Scale was the primary proxy for capability. In practice, this meant deploying an army. When an enterprise decided to modernize, large integrators would field massive teams of mainframe engineers, domain specialists, and project managers to tackle the complexity. But this approach created friction. Code analysis and dependency mapping, along with manual system refactoring, were performed by engineers manually reading through legacy systems line by line. Managing this required multiple layers of oversight and offshore coordination just to keep the teams aligned. This chart compares modernization program inputs against execution outputs. As headcount and multi-million-dollar costs ballooned, the efficiency and speed of delivery often dropped. Large teams frequently introduced variability and slower iteration cycles. Enterprises were paying a premium for capacity, yet they were seeing terrible efficiency and bloated timelines. Now, the tools to interrogate legacy systems are changing. The work of reading decades of undocumented code is instantly sorted and mapped by artificial intelligence. AI-driven modernization platforms like Codora act as a technological catalyst. They replace the manual effort of large teams with automated discovery and analysis. Previously, system discovery required months of manual work. Now, AI compresses this timeline into a fraction of the time, instantly surfacing risks. Instead of fragmented knowledge, decades of dependencies are centralized into a single queryable interface, accessible in real time. This shift changes the project's mathematics. 5 engineers equipped with AI outpace 50 manual contributors, erasing the advantage of scale. Chief technology and financial officers are under intense pressure to accelerate transformations. As business environments change in parallel, they must execute quickly without bleeding capital into open-ended projects. This pressure makes multi-year roadmaps and bloated rosters harder to justify to a board. Opaque discovery processes are increasingly viewed as a risk to budget predictability and long-term sustainability. Procurement logic now emphasizes specific requirements: transparent pricing models, clear documentation of system behavior, and measurable returns on investment at every stage of the project. Enterprise buying behavior is prioritizing speed to value and measurable results over the sheer size of a vendor's workforce. The shift in buyer priorities is changing the way vendors are evaluated, moving from a focus on massive size to a focus on precision. As manual efforts are replaced by automated workflows, asking how big is the team or how many resources can you deploy is becoming an obsolete way to gauge capability. This chart illustrates the new output-based standard. It measures the volume of code accurately modernized by a single AI-enabled engineer compared to a traditional 10-person pod. The determining factor is now productivity per individual. In this economic environment, applied intelligence creates a level of efficiency that raw headcount cannot match. This creates a real-world market consequence. Boutique and mid-sized firms are now winning high-stakes deals against industry giants by proving they can deliver faster insights and clearer system understanding. The heavy reliance on manual labor that defined the dominant integrators for decades has become a structural liability. Modern disruptors are using agility and automation to move faster and deliver cleaner results. The barrier to entry for securing enterprise modernization deals is no longer the ability to hire and deploy thousands of people. The barrier is technological capability. The modernization market is becoming intelligence-driven. Success belongs to the firms using the most effective technological leverage.